This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Tonight, we're getting a first look at the body camera video of an officer injured during a protest in Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. We want to warn you, the video is very difficult to watch. Ferguson officer Travis Brown is in critical condition after a man charged at him outside the police station. This happened Friday night on the 10th anniversary of Michael Brown's death. Here's a look at the video. You can see Officer Brown walking over to the protesters. A man named Elijah Gant is accused of charging at him and tackling him to the ground. Officer Brown falls and asks for help. Another officer stands by his side and calls for EMS.
Officer down! Officer down! Send me EMS, some more units up here to the parking lot.
Brown hit his head. He's now in the hospital with a life-threatening brain injury. Earlier today, we heard from Officer Brown's family. They released a statement saying in part, Travis is more than a police officer. He is a devoted father, son, brother, uncle, godfather, and friend. A man of strong faith. His heart is as big as his smile, and his positive energy is truly contagious. There is a GoFundMe for his family. You can find that by going to the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
And we are learning more tonight about another man who was charged with property damage after that protest. Keith Rose is a member of the St. Louis City Civilian Oversight Board, which investigates citizen complaints about police misconduct.
Our Justina Coronel just spoke to Rose's attorney amid calls for him to resign, and she joins us in studio with the very latest. Justina.
Well, Keith Rose was just appointed to the Civilian Oversight Board this year, and his first meeting was actually canceled because of his arrest. Friday night, Rose was among the protesters and was charged with a felony for property damage. Now, Ferguson police said Rose kicked a large metal gate at the Ferguson Police Department, causing part of the fence to fall off. However, Rose's attorney, David Kazali, said the video doesn't show his client doing this. Rose has recused himself from the board until the case is resolved. He also was an uncommitted alternate delegate for the Democratic National Convention next week. He's also stepped aside from that role. Now, just yesterday, 3 members of the Board of Aldermen asked for Rose to resign, while another trio today said Rose deserves due process and they should wait to vote until court proceedings conclude. Here is Rose's attorney.
A different person injured the officer, and that's awful. Keith has come out and he's condemned that. There's no place for that type of violence, but it wasn't him or even related to him.
Now, Rose posted bond and has a court hearing next Thursday. He has filed a lawsuit against St. Louis police before for protesting the acquittal of Officer Jason Stockley. Last year, a settlement was reached.
Well, tonight we're looking ahead at a chance of some strong to severe storms on Thursday.
Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo.
Yeah, today we had about 1/10 of an inch of rain around Lambert, and then if you were in Phelps County, you had heavy downpours and some frequent lightning, but no severe weather. That will change likely tomorrow. We're in a level 2 out of 5 here for Thursday. Damaging wind, large hail, and even a low tornado risk in here. So those strong storms, when are they possible? Well, we have one round that looks to be possibly sub-severe, below severe limits between 6 and 10 a.m. And then we'll watch the afternoon hours for new development of showers and storms, and some of them could be strong to severe, and then late evening to about 3 a.m. Again, all hazards possible. Stay weather aware. The initiation of these showers and storms expected to really kind of blow up right around Omaha to Kansas City. And then that first batch weakening tomorrow morning, but widespread showers and storms to start. And of course, coming up in Maine weather, I'll go into more details on this and then have that weekend forecast.
See you then, Jim. St. Louis Board of Aldermen President Megan Green is apologizing to the local Jewish community for the, quote, harm and impact of her post on social media.
The Anti-Defamation League says Green's post crossed a line into dealing in anti-Semitic tropes. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is here now with more. Mark?
Yeah, Board of Aldermen President Megan Green has since deleted the social media post in question, but the underlying post that she shared more broadly still remains up online. It came from Naveen Ayesh. She's a prominent supporter of Cori Bush's campaign. She actually shared the stage. You're watching her there with Bush at her campaign launch. She shared these posts online, now condemned as racist and anti-Semitic, claiming Wesley Bell, a black man, had, quote, enslaved himself to Jewish men. In another post, Ayesh wrote that St. Louis should be on alert because of how, quote, deeply infested These folk, or Jewish people in this case, had become in American media, politics, and government. That precise rhetoric is the same language the Tree of Life synagogue shooter used, and rhetoric just like it is on display at the St. Louis Holocaust Museum. That's the post Green initially shared to her 12,000 followers before she took it down.
Once you have posted something, let's say you're caught saying something that you don't actually really believe, maybe you're regurgitating something that you heard, apologize. What makes a good apology? You sincerely acknowledge what you did, you understand the ramifications, and you take action steps to not do it again. And if you've posted something, you need to address that post or whatever the comment was.
And a spokesperson for Megan Green says she has been reflecting on her social media post and now acknowledges its harm and impact. She plans to meet with one of the rabbis who wrote a letter to Green in the days to come. They hope to have a productive conversation.
Just hours ago, we heard from Sonia Massie's family. For the first time since the Sangamon County Sheriff stepped down, Deputy Sean Grayson is charged with shooting and killing Massie inside her home in Springfield, Illinois last month. Sheriff Jack Campbell retired last week after backlash following the shooting. Grayson had been kicked out of the Army and had 2 past DUI convictions. Despite this, he was hired at several different police agencies. Massie's family is calling for legislation in her name to increase vetting for police hires.
I personally feel that Sonia was failed by multiple systems and multiple people. We want justice. The sheriff did commit to, helping us. I would like to know what justice looks like for him. We are going to hold him accountable.
Grayson is behind bars. He has pleaded not guilty.
Metro Transit has released a plan to help St. Louis public school students get to class. More than 1,000 high school students will use public transportation starting Monday. Metro has released a how to ride video and flyer for students and parents. That's on the SLPS website and Metro's website. Parents can also contact Metro to get a free day pass this week for a practice run. You can call 314-982-1406 for that pass. And you can also find this info under the As Seen on TV tab of KSDK.com.
Well, we learned today that most of Gordon F. Moore Park in Alton will reopen on Friday. A massive sinkhole closed the park almost 50 days ago. 5 News' Tracy Henson heard from the Alton mayor about which parts of the park are safe and which ones are not.
All roads, the golf course, Lloyd Hopkins Field, walking paths, and fishing hole are good to go.
We are planning on opening Gordon Moore Park this Friday at 7 a.m.
Friday is a school day, but
hopefully I'll have some family members there, some grandkids there, and we're going to play in the park before school happens just to show that our park is a safe park.
After testing, the Mine Safety and Health Administration deemed most of the park safe.
We're not entirely out of the woods yet.
Safety work continues on Ballpark 1, and the soccer field is another story.
Oh, it's probably double or triple the size of the initial hole that was on the surface.
Professional engineer Justin Kleinschmidt says that's normal.
Nature gravity wants to pull it in, so it's doing what it should.
That means there could be more widening.
It might be that there's some areas that get expanded there a little bit, probably not outside the limits of the soccer field, but that's to be determined here.
The rest of the park will open on Friday, but Spencer Teolan Golf Course, their first tee times open on Saturday. In Alton, I'm Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
New numbers show inflation is down. The prices that are down and the ones that still haven't budged.
Hurricane Ernesto brings flooding to Puerto Rico, where it's moving to next.